What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today I have another NU match. This one is against Laquisha, who was a guy I was battling on my Twitch live stream the other day. So this is from the same session, and yeah, so looking at my opponent's team, I noticed it is pretty bulky. I could have some trouble with that Gigalith along with the Vaporeon if I don't have my Vikavolt around still. But let's go ahead and just get right into it here. This is a pretty solid matchup. So I'm going to be leading off with my Vikavolt just because from the team preview, I noticed that he doesn't have much that wants to take a Specs Volt switch right from the start. So that is exactly what I'm going to do as he ends up leading off with the Gigalith here. Just to, I assume, to get up the Stealth Rock. These things have Sandstream now for some reason, and Vikavolt did not pack his Go Goggles, so I gotta get the hell out of here as I do go for the Volt Switch. It's gonna do a nice chunk of damage to that thing, actually brings it to about half, and here we see the red card, and this is actually interesting because it red cards me into Piloswine, which would have actually probably been my switch-in on this thing anyway, because I do also notice that he is very weak to Stealth Rock. His team has the Charizard, and he's got a bunch of different things that really don't like Stealth Rock. So I'm going to go ahead and toss those up as early as I can, and that's going to make my life just a whole lot easier down the road. So now he's able to get a Stone Edge off. I am defensive as hell, so I'm able to take that with less than half, which is nice. And now I'm just going to switch right into my Vileplume. I know he's probably just going to go for another Stone Edge here, and then I can hit that thing hard with a Giga Drain. But as Vileplume comes in, I actually dodged the Stone Edge, which is really nice. I would have been able to take that pretty well because I am max defense, but either way, now I'm just going to go right for a Sleep Powder. I know he's going to want to switch out here, but I did not expect to switch into the Vileplume of his own. So now we've got a nice little Ditto matchup here, just a couple of flowers bouncing around in the Sandstorm, and there's not really a whole lot that either of us can do to each other. I know that Sludge Bomb will do a decent chunk of damage, but then again, we probably both have the ability to Synthesis, so I'm going to switch right out here. I figure he's probably just going to go for the Sludge Bomb, and that allows me to go into my boy Patista, who is going to come in and get that Intimidate, which really doesn't matter, but I am Assault Vest, so I can take anything this thing wants to throw at me, but he makes a nice prediction and just ends up going for the Sleep Powder, predicting me to switch, so that works out very well for him, and it's going to put me right to sleep as the Sandstorm does go away there, so that's nice. But this Vileplume really cannot stay in against me. I can scare it out with a Fire Blast if I do get that first turn Wake, so he is going to switch right into the Charizard here. So I'm actually pretty afraid of this thing. I know that they have the opportunity to set up, and I do actually just decide to stay in here to hope that I can get a Wake and try to hit this thing hard, but he's going to go for the Swords Dance here as I'm sleeping, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a Swords Dance Charizard. I haven't seen one of these in forever, but I'm a little bit intimidated there. So he gets that +2, and unfortunately I do stay asleep. So this allows him to go for an Earthquake, and that is going to take out my Incineroar, which does suck because this thing would have been very useful. But since it was asleep, it wasn't going to be able to do too much anyway, but that is going to knock me out, and it does have the Life Orb there, which I see. So this thing cannot come into Stealth Rock again, which is very cool, and luckily I do still have a Dodrio on my team who is faster, but so I don't have any damn wings, but for some reason I'm faster than a Charizard, so that's awesome. I'm able to go ahead and hit this thing with a nice little Choice Banded Brave Bird, and that is going to knock it out. So I didn't get swept by a Charizard, and I'm feeling pretty solid about that because it doesn't happen too often. So now he's going to go right back into the Gigalith. I can't knock this thing out with a Brave Bird here, as it's going to bring back up the Sandstream. Neither of us are a Sandstorm team, so that's really just kind of hurting both of us. But I am going to switch into Nuptup here. I know that he's probably just going to want to go for the Stone Edge again, and I know that I can take that, and I can knock it out with a Giga Drain. But Vileplume is just not having the Stone Edges today. I'm able to avoid that again, and that is pretty awesome. I mean, it wouldn't hurt too bad anyway, but it's just kind of nice to get those Stone Misses. So now he's going to go ahead and switch out. He does not want to take a Giga Drain. I predict the switch into his own Vileplume, and I figure rather than double switching here, I'm just going to go right for another Sludge Bomb. I can't bring back in Dodrio too many more times due to that Stealth Rock, so I go for the Sludge Bomb as this thing comes in, and seeing that damage, I should be able to win this matchup 1v1. So it's kind of just a battle of the Vileplumes here, as I believe we do have a speed tie. So he's going to go first here. He hits me with a Sludge Bomb of his own. I take some solid damage from that, and I'm going to hit him with 1-2. It looks like one more should be able to take this thing out, so things are looking good for old Nuptup here. So after the Black Sludge recovery, I can take one more, and unfortunately for him, he does not have enough health to be able to take it. So I do actually end up winning the speed tie here, which is awesome. So that Sludge Bomb is going to take care of it, and my Vileplume proved to be the better plume today. So he does have something he can switch in here now, now that he has a free revenge switch, and that is the bravery. So he's going to send in the old freedom bird and try to America all over me. Comes in, takes some stealth rock damage, and I do want to save my Vileplume in case I need it for his Vaporeon. So I'm going to switch right into my Piloswine. I know that he's probably going to go for the Brave Bird here unless he makes a nice prediction and goes for the superpower. But he does go for the Brave Bird here, and I should be able to live that at this health. I was cutting it close with the stealth rock damage, but I live it with 4 HP, which is awesome, and the Sandstorm goes away. So now I can try to hit this thing for as much damage as possible with just a nice little Ice Shard, as he is going to see that coming, and he's just going to switch right into his Vaporeon. So the Ice Shard's obviously not going to really scratch this damn thing. I probably should have went for the prediction there, but it would have been nice to at least get some more damage on that Bravery. But not too big of a deal. This Vaporeon is going to go ahead and throw some hot water on my face, and that is going to kill Piloswine, but that's fine. I was able to get my Stealth Rock up, and this thing wasn't all that useful this match, so at least now I have a free switch, and that's going to give me a bit of momentum here, as I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Vikavolt again. This thing hits so damn hard, and his team just really doesn't have a whole lot that can come into this thing, so I'm just going to go right for the Thunderbolt, as he actually ends up going for the Protect just to kind of scout out what I'm going to go for here. That shows me it's probably just a Wish Protect Vaporeon, which I don't think there's really anything else. It's probably just Wish Protect with Toxic and Scald. So I'm just going to continue going for the Thunderbolt here, as he is going to make a switch and goes into his Railgirl, which is his own Vikavolt. So we've had a couple Ditto matchups going on here, and that's pretty funny. But I go for the Thunderbolt here as this thing switches in, and generally when your opponent switches in on an attack on situations like this, you are going to have the upper hand, seeing as one more attack is going to take this thing out. He goes for the Bug Buzz. I am luckily able to live that, and one more Thunderbolt is going to take care of his. So I'm shiny, and I look way cooler, which summoned me the strength to be able to finish that thing off, and that is awesome. So now he has a free switch. He can go into his Bravery again. I am going to be slower, and there's not much I can do here, so I have to just kind of stay in, let Vikavolt die. I wasn't going to be able to come into rocks anyway, but I was able to take care of his Vikavolt, but the only problem now is that he has that Vaporeon, and I've got to kind of make a plan for that thing. So now he goes into that as he U-turns out, and I figure this is a perfect opportunity for me to bring in my Toxicroak. Seeing as Vaporeons generally only carry one attacking move in Scald, I should be able to get some free Swords Dances here, considering I do have the Dry Skin ability, so I don't take any damage from water attacks, and it's pretty much just a free Swords Dance. So I get that up, and now this thing is going to go ahead and make a wish, but it's looking like it might be a little bit too late for that, Mrs. Vaporeon, because of the fact that you cannot really touch me, and Toxicroak might be able to get a little bit of a late game sweep going here. So he is now going to switch out here. I decided to go for another Swords Dance just in case I might need it if that Vaporeon wanted to do anything weird and go for a Protect or something. As in comes the Gigalith, he's going to get that Sandstorm back up, but I'm not too worried. So I dance with some more swords, and now Toxicroak is looking strong as hell, and you really do not want to play games with a Toxicroak once it has +4 in attack, because I do have access to Sucker Punch, and shit's gonna get scary. So I obviously outspeed. A Drain Punch is going to go ahead and knock that thing out, and at this point there's not a whole lot that he can do. All he has left is that Bravery and his Vaporeon. So down goes the Gigalith, and I lose some HP to the Life Orb and then get hit by some Sandstorm, but that is fine because Brittany is ready to take some freedom away from this here bird. So this thing comes in on the Stealth Rock damage is that red health, and all I gotta do is just go for that Sucker Punch. Is gonna knock that thing out. And yeah, so now his last Pokemon is the Vaporeon. He is actually just going to bring this thing in. Since he cannot touch me, he is going to go ahead and pretty much just die to a Drain Punch nice and easy. So I believe he actually just hits the run button, saves his Vaporeon a life. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the match there. Toxicroak came in super clutch, being able to freely set up against that Vaporeon. That's the only bad thing about them Vaporeons. You got to look out for these dry skin Toxicroak. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, hit that like button on this video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles. Peace out, guys.